Would a Zack Snyder animated universe fit and be a good idea for DC and HBO Max to explore? We're going to talk about it coming up. Guys, Final Death Star here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed already, I don't know what's wrong. Is it me? Is it something I've done? Is it something I've said? I'm sorry. Please, let's make it right. Click that subscribe button. All right. So this is an article coming from Forbes. And the writer, Mark Hughes, comes up with a very good idea, something I've kind of brought up in different ways in my own ideas with Star Wars. But he suggests here HBO Max should build a new animated DCEU Snyderverse. Now, this is a very interesting idea. First off, my first thought would be how unique to have animated movies that would fit in with the DCU, the live action, the films, whether they're going to be films that are released on HBO Max going forward, or if they're theatrical releases, if and when the theaters open up again. It would be nice, and a nice idea, interesting new take on animated films to fit them inside of that. There are already great DC films that are out right now. For the last 10 years, they've been putting out some really good animated films, but nothing's in line with the Snyderverse. Now, what I thought is this kind of is sort of an idea that Star Wars took with the Clone Wars. Because the Clone Wars was an animated series that fit in nicely with the movies. You know, they were supposed to be kind of seamless. It was the story of what happened in between, and it worked really well. Great stories, great animation, and it led to some of, I think, in my opinion, some of the best Star Wars we've gotten, certainly in a long, long time. So with that being said, I think there's a way to do this. You tie it into the movies. You put top-notch animation into it because, after all, we want, if you're going to do this as like a replacement for movies, or at least temporarily, you want them to be really good animation. That's one thing I'd say. The only really complaint I have with some of the DC animated movies that have been out is, I'd like a little better high-end animation. But, now if you're going to be saving money on live action by doing it animated, then this could work really well as an alternative. Now, you've also had cartoons recently that I think show that there is an adult audience for cartoons. Now, it's my opinion that the adults these days, being myself, the age group of their, people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, they grew up with different kinds of cartoons than the older generation did. I think we grew up with some more mature content in our cartoons, especially in the 90s, than previous generations who grew up with like the Flintstones and Hanna-Barbera. There was a definite tone change in the way that animated children's cartoons were handled back then. And I think that's led to more of an acceptance among our generation to want these adult cartoons. You see this stuff with Rick and Morty, with The Simpsons, with Family Guy, Archer. There are cartoons that are more or less made for adults. Sure, they're kind of done in more of a humorous take, but or satirical. But again, I think they're definitely directed at more our age group than children, or the age group that's older than us. So I think, and even DC's movies. I mean, DC Dark, the Apocalypse War was very dark, very mature. You wouldn't want a little kid watching that. It's not exactly Super Friends or the Justice League animated series or Justice League Unlimited. So I think there is an audience for more mature adult animation, where you could enter into the world of drama, kind of like the DC movies, animated movies do now, and really focus on that. The other idea that he suggests here, Mark, in the article, is not so much that you would have a weekly episode, like a weekly cartoon, but more a mini series, different stories that focus, on or one storyline that is encapsulated in 4-episode miniseries, 5-episode miniseries, maybe like an hour each, something like that, where you would basically have an animated version that could be comparable to a live-action director's cut. A lot of times, the directors have a longer vision and they can't always get it done because it's too much time. They have to cut things. With animation, you're able to get away with a little more. You could do that also with live action in some of these streaming services. They certainly do, but it costs a lot more money. Plus, now with the beer bug going around, we don't really know what the future of live action is going to be. When is it going to be safe to return? When are they going to be starting to able to film in studios close together? We just don't really know yet. So it's an uncertain time. With animation, however, it can all be done at home. They can send things digitally. They don't have to be in person. It's much cheaper. There's a lot of artists that are, in need of work right now, and it could be a really great medium to sort of explore going forward. So it's something they're able to do through this pandemic, when they might not be able to do the live action stuff. So it's going to save money. They're going to be able to do it and get new content out quickly. There are a lot of things he does mention here. Some of the shows that have been announced for the HBO Max, some of the movies. I think it's towards the bottom here. Yeah, so we got Zack Snyder's Justice League, obviously Green Lantern Corp, Strange Adventures, DC Superhero High, Aquaman King of Atlantis, Gotham PD, which was just announced. I did a video on that not too long ago. Justice League Dark, the live action, the animated of Justice League Dark, the newest one, Apocalypse War, is on there right now. And it says, more will be announced. So, is this something that they should explore? I believe it is a good, maybe something they could go about. I think everything lines up. There's already a strong demand for the Snyderverse as well amongst the fans. The release of the Snyder Cut crew, very vocal, very passionate. And if you did an animated series within the Snyderverse and tied them into the movies and all this live action content that's either has already come out or will come out, I really think you have a win-win situation, and I think that Mark Hughes, is it Mark Hughes here? I just want to make sure I get his name right. Yes, Mark Hughes does a great job pointing all that out in this article. So I will link this for you to take a look at and read it. It's just kind of long, so I thought I would just put it up here and more so talk about it, kind of hit a few of his points, and then complement it with a few of my own points. And yeah, there you have it. So let me know what you think. If animated movies or miniseries would be something you'd be interested in within the Snyderverse or just in general. It doesn't have to be just. I have always thought. Also, I've said I would like to see Disney Lucasfilm release the Thrawn trilogy, the books, in a animated version. I would love to see, especially if they're gonna. I don't know. There's all the talk that they're gonna split the sequel trilogy, or there's rumors, that are going to split the sequel trilogy up into different stories, different timelines, like a multiverse of Star Wars. Regardless of all that, I would really like to see the Heir to the Empire, the Thrawn series in a animated version of movies. I think they would be very cool to see that. So, this could be something going forward that the time is right to do something like this. Not that I think they will, but I think they definitely could and maybe should, And I think the same thing with DCEU, although I think DCEU, there's probably a much higher chance and likelihood that something like that might actually get done. So that being said, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. It's just a little click, and it's like a world of difference for me. It really helps the video do well, get seen by more people, and helps to grow my channel. which I appreciate very, very much. So thank you guys. Until next time, lock the doors and hope they don't have blasters.